right. We're about to get started here. How's everybody doing? It's Tuesday, Twitter Tuesday on the Morning Night Live, where I get most of my stories from that hellhole known as Twitter. But it's interesting because a lot of people are being allowed back on the platform. I saw a couple of names this morning that surprised me. Well, I don't know if it surprised me. He's bringing back everybody, I guess, except for Alex Jones. But you know, it's interesting to watch. It's interesting to watch the reactions. But I'm not going to spend too much time on that because I avoided speaking about this incident in Colorado for a reason. Wanted to wait a few days because if you wait a few days, you might get the actual story, which we haven't yet, which tells me something. There's the fact that we haven't heard more about it tells me a lot. We'll get into that, but we'll also get into what I call the purveyors of tragedy mining. The one great philosopher said, don't let a tragedy go to waste. And boy, oh boy, they're doing their best to make sure they can milk something out of this. And even if they are right, I would say they're wrong. So we'll get into that more on the Morning Night Live. I think it'd be a good time to play the intro. Johnny, stop that music. Thank you. Play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Oh yeah, I'm here. Not queer. Get used to it. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Dawg Knight on the internet. And welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel on this Tuesday, the 22nd of November, 2022. Just a couple short days before, I keep saying it, one of my favorite holidays, only because I really like to cook. And I really like to cook for like large groups. I love, and my wife and I we like entertaining, you know. We make this beautiful spread. We cook a lot of good food. My wife makes all kinds of appetizers and stuff, and we enjoy ourselves. We have fun. We watch football and we laugh and talk and whatever. And this year, it's somewhat of a Friendsgiving. We have some family member. My son, unfortunately, is not going to be in town because he lives out in Colorado. They're planning their wedding and stuff. They've been traveling so much, going to all their friends' weddings. They're like, hey, we need to chill. So they're not going to be home for this holiday, but that's okay. My daughter, my son-in-law, my beautiful granddaughter, and a bunch of my wife's friends and their families and a couple neighbors even are going to come over, and we're going to enjoy ourselves. Oh yeah, I forgot, Kay. I got your phone number. Don't worry, you'll get there. Anyway, so like I said, I want to talk about this incident in Colorado, and not so much the incident itself, but one particular news person who seems to be exclusively on this beat, because I laughed because I was watching a little news report that this guy was on, and he was rattling off all the headlines he's been writing this year. And basically all his headlines are basically telling you that we're bad people for talking about certain things and that we're going to cause this and that. And he's claiming that this particular incident was caused by certain things that he still doesn't even know about. But he's sure that this is why. why this happened. And even if it didn't happen because of this, because of us, because of people talking about these things, even if it didn't, it's still their fault because you talk about these things. Yes, that would be NBC's Ben Collins, one of the mean girls of journalism. And, died suddenly. I got to look at that too. There's a whole, yeah, that's trending today too. Died suddenly is trending today. In fact, let me pull that up too, because I meant to look at that. Because, all right, where is it? I think it's even, is it in the, is it a hashtag or is it on the trending list? I saw this pop up in my feed. We'll look at that one too, because, well, you can imagine. There it is. Died suddenly. Holy shit. In fact, let's just make that a whole nother thing too. We're gonna move that over into the list of things trending today. We'll move it there. Where should I put it? Well, let's just put it over here with trending stuff. They'll do it right here, right after I talk about a couple people who are back. Thank you for reminding me of that, Cannon Hotep. All right, let's say good morning, everybody, and get this show on the road because we got shit to do, and I don't have as much time as I normally have to do it. Thank you, though, Simon Wolfwood, Nobody Not Me, Somnambule Nation for tweeting out the show. Please share this stream as you will. And also hit the like button sometime during the show. If you want to sponsor the show, pdognight.live or Super Chats or Venmo, Cash App. That's all in the whatever. So let's say good morning. First in the chat over on Rumble. I am on Rumble and on YouTube right now. On Rumble, first in the chat is Avocados Diabli, who gets the bell. Good morning, sir. Also, Tyre Alexander over there. Simon Wolfwood, Mike Savage, Blarg, and Nobody Not Me. Make sure you follow me both on YouTube and on Rumble and on Odyssey. I'm Dawg Knight, all three of those places, but I don't stream on Odyssey yet. Although all my streams are backed up on both Odyssey and Rumble, just in case YouTube takes them down like they do occasionally. I had to do a couple of appeals on a couple of my stuff that got taken down. On the YouTube side of the ledger, also... It's still Avocados Diabli because Avocados Diabli does it on both sides. It goes both ways. Wait. Maybe I should rephrase that. Anyway, also on the YouTube side, good morning, Trippy Liberty. What's up? James Colley, Unacceptable Views, Simon Wolfwood, Cannon Hotep. Also, good morning, Kay from the Hotep family, D.I. Freighter Watcher, Rotten Corpse, my favorite Canadian Jaeger pony, Jay Pylon. Also, good morning, Tyre. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I got to say this properly. Tyrannius Alexandrius. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. Hang on a second. I'm going to actually use the music this time. Tyrannius Alexandrius Invictus. Oh, Tremad Lich. I almost said Invictus Soul. Anyway, good morning, Tyre Alexander. What's up? Mike Savage, Blarg. Anybody else? Who else is here? Renee Mayette. What's up? Gulf City DCC 182, aka Blink in this chat. I'm just gonna call you Blink from now on. I can't help it. I gotta do it. Jabari of Judas in the house. Oh shit! I just spilled my coffee. Got so excited to see Jabari here another day that I spilled coffee all over my desk. God, dog it. By the way, I do have my my traditional cup of reparations, aka coffee. Today I have the Gut Eichert cup. I don't even know it. I'm not sure what Gut Eichert means though. I think it's kind of a toast. Let's see. Gut Aichet. Let's see what that means if I can get a translation. Gut Eichert River Cruise Entertainment. What? No. There's a Gut Eichert. Italy and beyond. What does it mean? Eichert is a place near the Danube River. I'm looking at the map here. No. There's got to be a reason. What does Gut Eichert mean? a daily dose of fiber. No, that's not it. Okay, well, I'll have to look that up. Anyway, I got this cup in, we're in Austria or we were in Germany. Anyway, we're on a little farm in Germany that had, that brewed their own beer. And my goodness, the beer was phenomenal. I mean, I generally enjoy, a decent beer, but the beer we had at this little farm, they brewed it themselves, and it was, oh my gosh, it was so good. Anyway, who else is here? Am I missing anybody? I said, D. Fredo, watch. I said, yeah, leave your name. Yeah, okay, I think that's everybody. Oh, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Is in the house. Chicago Mike. And okay, if I missed anybody, you can just. Oh, Gunfox 61. Marty did my news break you yesterday. Were you here? Weren't you here when I don't know. I didn't look at the Discord server this morning. But Gunfox is the administrator of the Discord server for the Dawg Knight Channel and Dawg Knight family. You can join that Discord server. For some reason my cloud bot doesn't work anymore. I think it might because I'm multi-streaming. I got to figure out how to fix that. But someone could put the link to the Discord server in the chat. That'd be great too. DCC is all my initials, LOL. Yeah, nope, you're Blink from now on, DCC. I'm sorry. All right, let's get into the show because I'm already short on time. By the way, another thank you. Looks like I got to go here. Hard Bastard. Whoa, hey, Hard Bastard retweeted my show. Good God, I got to get him on the show again. It's been a while. In fact, maybe we'll see if I can get him on here this weekend or this Friday or maybe sometime next week. My dude, Hard Bastard. Anyway, all right. So, Guten Eichen means it's not E-I-C-H-E-N. It's good. I'm sorry. Good Eichet. I spelled it wrong. That's probably why I couldn't get it. No, it's Good Eichet. And it wasn't Passauer. Oh, that's the farm. Gut Eichet Farm in Passau, Germany. That's where we had that beer. Okay, that's the name. I didn't realize that was the name of the farm. Gut Eichet in Passau, Germany. It was good, man. It was great. It was nice. That was the place where we went. Okay, so we went to this farm as one of the side tours on our river cruise, right? And we so we go to this. I didn't know we were going to farm. The side tour was called Beer Fest, and I'm like, why are we going to this farm? But it was a cool farm. It was this farm that they were turning into an event center. It was a working farm, but they also had this really cool outbuilding that was basically set up as a ballroom and had really rustic stuff, deck decor. And then they had a horse arena because they also, people at that farm showed horses. And so they built this horse arena. And every building on this farm was hand built by the people who lived there. It wasn't like, they went out in the Black Forest and they chopped down trees and made their own beams, and everything about it was handmade. It was kind of wild. And they had this little building just down about 100 yards from the main building, and it was where they brewed their beer. And they had the beer was phenomenal. And then they had some guy, a couple guys in lederhosen and stuff, and they're showing us these traditional German dances, and we played the German games, the one where you hammer a nail in with the I guess it's a tack hammer, but you do the small side. You have to, the game is you got to pound your nail in. You take turns, and whoever pounds their nail all the way in first. And me and Lady Boomer won that. That was kind of fun. But anyway, it was great, and the beer was good. And I would recommend it to anybody. Good morning, Jay Pylon over on Rumble too. Nice to see you over there. All right. So anyway. So German Amish. No, they weren't German Amish. It was just a traditional farm in the Black Forest, and they did everything in a traditional way, even though their farming equipment, they had tractors and shit, but for whatever reason, they built the house by hand. So anyway, why is that window open? I have no idea. All right, let's get into it because I want to talk about a few things today. Twitter is continuing their Return of the Dead, so to speak. If you haven't noticed, our friend Nick Rekieta. Oh, what'd I do there? Nick Rekieta's back. And they've restored his account. So there he is. And he says, I am back Thanks to the massive list of people who had me trending on Twitter for weeks. Big ups to that Star Wars girl, to Nina Infinity, who have been advocating hard. I plan to ruin this in glorious fashion. Fuck censorship, fuck outrage mom, fuck false flaggers. Because he basically is gone because of false flaggers. Oh, I don't know why my thing there stands there. But anyway, so lots of Rakita memes. This is a good one. I don't know what movie this is from, but they somehow the guy who does all the Rakita faces and all the what do you call? I don't know. What do you call that? When you do the face transplant thing, the deep fake stuff. This Charlie D'Angelo is the master of the deep fakes, and he's put all these different memes together. Anyway, also this is the other part. Apparently, some of the people who are law type people on Twitter and even the fake lawyers even are not happy about Rakita being back. I don't get it. Maybe because he makes fun of a lot of them. But anyway, he said the already rancid astronomical blood pressure of fats on law Twitter collectively felt their anuses pucker today. Get fucked, you losers, he says. Okay. He ain't taking no prisoners. In fact, Nate the lawyer says, Nick already making friends. Yes. Very good, Nick. And then also, though, returning as Carl Benjamin, also known as Sargon of Akkad. Now, he was banned from Twitter 5 years ago. And he's like, thank you for bringing me back to life, Elon Musk. 5 years in exile is a long time. A lot has changed. We are in a different world now. I am a different man. Things will be different, hopefully better. Tide may be turning. I haven't really paid attention to Carl for a while. I know he has his, what's that, is it Lotus Eaters or something like that? He has they're still on YouTube, but he doesn't really do much on his Sargon of Akkad account. But he does basically podcasting and live streaming, kind of like what I'm doing here on that channel. So welcome back, Carl Sargon of Akkad Benjamin. All right, now. Then there's a bunch of people. Now he's advocating too. Now, so he put a list out of here, or saw a list of people that they should bring back. He said, I would like to petition to have practically everyone else who's been suspended restored. Please bring back Milo, Lewis. I don't know who Lewis Eval, Heels vs Babyface, Alex Jones, and everyone else. So here's a list that Ike Hypocrite came out with: Milo Yiannopoulos, Savannah Hernandez, Tommy Robinson, Nick Fuentes, Stephen Molyneux, Katie Hobson, John Doyle, Mr. Medicare, Gavin McGinnis, and Alex Jones. Well, that is just the who's who of white supremacy. Why would you want any of them on? No, I don't care. Look, someone else was suggested the other day. They suggested in fact, I think it might have been Hard Bastard who said this. Bring back David Duke. Bring back, what was the other one? Who's the guy, the intellectual guy that used to be at Harvard? I don't know. And he's like, bring back Louis Farrakhan. Bring them all back. It'd be so entertaining to bring some of these people back. So you know what? Guess what? If they say shit I don't like, you know what I'll do? I'll move on. I don't give a shit. Okay? I mean, look, the First Amendment, and granted, he wants to make this more First Amendment. Good morning, Aaron Meredith, by the way, and Tyler F. and Straight Sith Mail. Look, the First Amendment isn't for the people that you want to hear or allowed to hear, good to hear. That's for the people who are not, who say shit you don't want to hear. That are the things you don't like. And that's who it's for. Now, granted, it's not block and ignore. Exactly, Chicago Mike. Good morning, Chicago Mike. Block and ignore if you don't want to hear them. I like, for example, the list of people that I kind of just went through, I didn't follow any of them. And if they pop up in my feed because someone else might have retweeted them or whatever, but if you don't follow them, you're less likely to hear them. Or if you really, really, really can't handle it, that's what the block button's for. Look, it's words on a screen, on a phone screen, whatever. It's a screen, either way. Get over it. And that's all I got to say about that. Good morning, Selecta Boy.
Yeah, boy.
All right. Anyway. Oh, and he forgot his oldest friends, not V, a.k.a. V. Who is this? The Archcast? I don't know who that is. T.A. Archcast, whatever. And Morbius Devo. I don't know who those people are. They're probably meme lords that got in trouble for some shit they said on Twitter. Anyway. All right. Let's get into something else here. So thank you, Canon Hotep, for reminding me of this died suddenly. The died suddenly hashtag, which is trending on Twitter right now. Apparently, it's after watching Died Suddenly, I've never been so confident in my decision to remain unvaccinated. Must watch. Okay, there's a movie called Died Suddenly. I haven't seen it. It says watch Died Suddenly. Let me see on here. Oh, I haven't seen this. This film is not suitable for children. Okay, it's on Twitter. I'm going to bookmark this, as I have not seen this yet. But it's trending. And I'm assuming what this movie does is goes through a lot of people who have died suddenly. The BBC is back. Hello, P-Dog's people. Hello. Oh, good morning, Rachel Madhouse Dildo. I said that out loud again. Oh, good. Anyway. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to bookmark this, and I'm going to put it in the tabs for today, so that when you can find it easily. I do want to watch that. Anyway, it's trending. Let's see what they're saying about it, though, or where'd the hashtag go? Where'd it go? I just had it there. Oh, that's because it's at Eric Matheny. Nope, not Carl. Don't do that to Carl. What the hell did I just do? Oh, shoot. I'm trying to find where I was. There we go. Let's go into the hashtag, though. So, again, and the reason this movie came out is because there's this really weird phenomenon of people who are younger people that are just happening to be gone suddenly, died suddenly. So, for example, a Yorkshire rug player and club captain has died suddenly at age 29. If you see died suddenly trending, is because some conspiracy nuts have put together a movie about how COVID vaccine is the correlative cause of all post-vaccination deaths. At this point, I expect the COVID vaccine to be accused of shooting JFK and canceling Firefly. Okay. All right. That's how you feel about it. I'm curious about I'll watch it to decide if I think it's a possibility or feasible. You know? I had a friend who recently died suddenly. She had heart damage from having stupid 19. She was 37 and a lifelong athlete. COVID kills. The vaccine does not. Well, maybe not. But there's a lot of people. Oh, I see. It's on Rumble. I'll put the link to that. There's the full movie there if you want to watch it there. I think it'll be easier to do that way. I'll move that over here. Close that one. Let's see. My dad was healthy his whole life. He never took meds, no ailments. He died suddenly of a heart attack one day after he took the stupid 19 vaccine. Personally, this isn't a conspiracy theory. It's my reality. I miss my dad every day. So some people are saying it's anti-vax information. Some people are saying, watch it and, hey, look, you know what I say? I say, watch it and see what you think. Maybe we'll talk about this in the next couple days, because I am going to watch it just because I'm curious now. But a lot of people are. Died suddenly. What a load of fucking horse shit. Embalmers and/or morticians do not conduct postmortems. My husband has been a funeral director for over 30 years. Okay, and then you got. The reason I took it off the screen is because I always worry about accidentally showing a penis on my show. Because when you scroll on Twitter indiscriminately, sometimes you find people put their genitals out there for everyone to see. So you got to be careful. Now, Victoria Brownsworth, she's one of these lefties, big time Twitter people, because she has 135,000 followers for some reason. She's an award-winning investigative journalist, 2022. Well, that just means you are, you've got the approval of the peers who control the world. She said, died suddenly is trending. My beloved wife died suddenly 10 days ago, and now I have an anti-vaxxer conspiracy theorist slithering through my mentions, suggesting that it was related to her being vaccinated against stupid 19. It's an outrageous intrusion on my grief and total fabrication. Again, when people annoy you on Twitter, you click, you just click away and whatever. I mean, or stay off of Twitter for a while. I'm sorry that that's happened to you, Victoria Brownworth. Anyway, I'll watch the movie. I'll check it out. Good morning, Dumbbeard. Good morning, Data Wasteland. Nice to see you guys in the chat. All right, moving on. Let's go to this. Now I just have a few different hodgepodge of topics before I get into the main topic. This is an interesting one. This is MSNBC's Anand Giridharadas, who thinks that the existence of billionaires is sort of antithetical to democracy. Because this is the agenda nowadays. Here's Anand Giridharadas.
Appears to be a game to him, but letting Donald Trump back in the room. Kanye.
Oh, this is because they're talking about Elon Musk again, because that's he looks like Heat Miser, and that's the way that stopped. Look at that pause. That pause game is that's fire. Doesn't he look like Heat Miser? You know who I'm talking about? How does the song go? I'm Mr. Heat Miser. I'm Mr. Fun. Anyway, Heat Miser is that from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? What is Heat Miser? What movie is that from? It's one of those, not claymation, but whatever movies you watch as a kid during the holidays. He looks like Heat Miser. Anyway, they are bitching about Elon Musk, which is a media pastime these days.
Again yesterday as well.
Oh, because he keeps letting the bad people back on Twitter. That's the problem with Elon Musk. He didn't just use his 46 million to do something other than cure world hunger. He The Year Without a Santa Claus, is that what it's from? That sounds about right, doesn't it? Okay. Anyway, I've interrupted this twice. They're talking about Elon Musk.
Appears to be a game to him, but letting Donald Trump back in the room. Kanye was posting again yesterday as well.
Oh, God. Wait a minute. Kanye was posting again? Oh, Lord.
All add up to.
First of all, I think something we often forget as Americans is that billionaires exist as a class of people who have that much money at our collective pleasure, right?
Billionaires exist as people at our collective pleasure. Yes, because you give them money for your pleasure of whatever it is you're trying to get. And that's how they become billionaires, because you voluntarily give them your money. I mean, think about it. Jeff Bezos. If you voluntarily use Amazon and he gives you something of value that you want, you've voluntarily given him your money in exchange for something that you want, and he gets somehow he gets the money from doing that. Interesting. That's a weird. Okay. Oh boy, he's going straight communist on us. I can tell.
It is a policy choice to allow some people to accumulate that much money, hundreds of billions of dollars in the case of people in the United States, before everybody has the chance to live with dignity, right?
It's a policy choice. Really? So you think that if someone provides something of value to you and you have voluntarily given them money that the money that they've, you voluntarily given to them, and if lots of people voluntarily give them the money, you somehow think that it's a policy choice to allow people to give their money for something they find of value, a good service, a good product, and whatnot. Holy shit. Holy shit. Let's see where this goes.
Other countries make that choice very differently. We have chosen...
Yes, other countries make that choice very differently because a lot of other countries where the billionaires are all the people who are running the country, and they do it by force, not by voluntarily giving the billionaires their money, but because... And in fact, some of these countries, you know how they become billionaires? They get aid from countries where the people voluntarily give their money to billionaires, because the tax system in the countries where the people who voluntarily give their money to billionaires tax them and then give them aid that was supposed to go to help the people in those countries, but the people who are running those countries, who are the billionaires, steal the money that the countries where people voluntarily give their money to the billionaires give them. Did you follow that? Oh, for fuck's sake. Hello, Real Wade Nation. What's up?
Historically, to heavily prioritize having billionaires over having dignity for all people.
No. See, in free nations where there are people who will give you money voluntarily, if you give them something of value that in their mind is a value, then you could become a billionaire. Now, I certainly my little, green screen studio in my basement is not necessarily giving people something of great value, but some of you value it a little bit. So don't forget, you can always, or pdognight.live, you can do that there, or super chats. I'd be happy to take it. Anyway, this guy, what the fuck?
People, and that's a choice. I would just start by saying that we could make differently in the future.
How? See, because if I'm a billionaire and I provide services that people like and they give me money, you should be able to just take it away from me. That's oh boy. Politics of envy.
Try to remind people of that choice we have. And last week was remarkable. I mean, I've written about billionaires for years and talked about these issues on the show, but it was hard to imagine a week when there was so many spectacular reminders of the way in which this kind of billionaire class is inconsistent with democracy as we live it. Elon Musk.
Whoa. How's it inconsistent with democracy? What does that even mean? Inconsistent with democracy. No. And look, we're not a democracy, but we have democracy centric goings-ons, right? What? Holy shit. But how is this antithetical to democracy? Oh, because he bought Twitter, a private or a publicly traded business. He bought a business, and people are still using that business for whatever they use it for. So it's because he has more power under this democracy? I don't know. He's told people to vote for Republicans. That didn't work so well, did it?
Is a sort of adolescent in his 50s. Everybody can see that. I don't think anybody would say Elon Musk is a normal 51-year-old man who has bought this platform that he himself calls a global town square, certainly functions, has that kind of social importance. And because of what is so evident...
because it's so important. See, you journalists had a playground where you could control narratives, and if you didn't like what people say, you could write some hit pieces in your New York Times and Washington Post, and then those people would be kind of just shunned and gone away, and the businesses would close down their bank accounts and all that because you had all the power. Now there may be a little bit of, a little more, what's that word that people like to use a few years ago, even though they didn't really know what it meant? Egalitarian type of thing going on at Twitter and whatnot, even though it's not really, because he's still doing some moderation shit. But, you guys don't like it because you are not the ones who can control their narratives anymore. And that's what you don't like. I'm pretty confident that's what he's saying here.
Evidently, his own feeble limitations. He's a limited man.
Yes, feeble, limited.
His limitations become all of our problem. They ramify into all of our lives. They start to,
really, because you are forced, Anand, you are forced to use Twitter.
Unleash anti-Semitism because he wants Kanye back on the platform.
Oh, is that what it is? Is that? Oh, my God. See, isms, ists, and phobias are coming out now. Because, God, no one knows how to counter any of those things. So if you need to be afraid of them instead of learn how to counter them. If they really exist. If you think they really exist, then you should learn how to counter them by encountering them. That's what I say.
He announces shalom when he comes back after his big anti-Semitism benders in recent years. He brings back Donald Trump, who's kind of unleashed the white nationalist demons in this country on that platform and off in ways that are obviously have caused us to come to the brink of losing our democracy.
Because of the insurrection.
Elon Musk's big idea is let's bring him back. He's gutted the company. Photos of him from the company at a so-called code meeting show that there's basically like no women left working around him. It's just a big sausage fest in there working, in the team that he has remaining around him. And then, the rest of the week was Jeff Bezos doing this big song and dance about philanthropy, while then an hour later his company lays off thousands of people right before Thanksgiving, going home having to tell their kids, Mommy or Daddy doesn't have a job anymore because of this guy who's apparently giving money away to help people, I guess, like us who don't have jobs. You have Sam Bankman-Fried, an incredible example.
Democrat donor, top, second highest Democratic donor, Sam Bankman-Fried. Also, you notice the other thing, too? Okay, so Elon, I don't think, did Elon give money to anybody? I know Bezos is a big lefty. I mean, hell, he owns the Washington Post. And Sam Bankman-Fried, billionaire, gives money to the Democrats. Anyway.
Who had these he wasn't even into philanthropy in this moment. He was still just making money and telling us that simply the way he was making.
Whoa, that's a lie. That's a lie. He was not just making money. He was laundering it through Ukraine and Democrats. And he was also giving money to a lot of interesting causes that we haven't spent a lot of time talking about in this show. Anyway, thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite, for sponsoring the show today. And Black Hebrew Israelite, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you. He says, died suddenly, quote, unquote. I'm reminded of all the excuses like they died due to global warming or heartaches from the breakup. The athletes were dying due to ice baths. Now they settle on calling it sudden adult death syndrome, SADS, everything except Wu-Tang shot, the Wu-Tang shot. Yes, that is, it's amazing, isn't it? Isn't it amazing how many excuses they came? And, it's a very unusual number of people just suddenly, gone. Young people, too, especially young people. That's the weird thing. Older people, excess deaths. Isn't that the term for it? Excess deaths, they call it. And it's interesting. Now, granted, we had a lot of people die from COVID, too. I mean, it's not, you die from either way. But something weird about the younger people dying. Because younger people aren't dying from COVID. The older people and the obese people and the people who have, other respiratory issues, the ones dying from COVID. But we're talking about young people just out of the blue, bloop, bye-bye, and that's not good. So I'm gonna watch that, and I will have that linked in the links at the end of the show. in the description. All right, let's finish this.
Money was going to help all of us. He was going to smash the system, man. He was going to bring down the big banks, and he was going to create this new era of finance for everyone. You could all get in on the crypto.
He was a Ponzi scheme, but
look,
he's not a traditional millionaire though, or billionaire, whatever. And the tangled web he is weaved will be interesting as they begin to untangle it because, oh, by the way, I just found out that his parents bought multiple properties in the Bahamas, adding up to about $126 million. I wonder how that's going to work out for them. Isn't his father like a professor at Stanford or Berkeley or something like that? And a lot of these, his pet causes, Sam, whatever this, is it SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, was investing or donating to a lot of his father's pet causes too. So anyway, let's finish this idiot.
Lost everyone's money. He makes the big banks look good by comparison. And then, of course, Trump. Who I always have appreciated. He's not even necessarily an actual billionaire, but I've always appreciated the naked.
Really? I mean, look, just his real estate holdings alone make his net worth probably somewhere near at least a couple billion. I mean, they say he's a billionaire. I mean, he doesn't believe. This is one of these guys who doesn't believe Trump's a billionaire, but whatever.
Unlike some of these other guys, he doesn't do a very good job of pretending that he's for the public benefit. He certainly ran on a campaign of smashing the system in 2016, but he is very nakedly revealing what I think is true of this group in general, which is that their existence as billionaires is sort of antithetical to our flourishing as a democracy.
So let's talk about the...
Okay, so anyway, that's that Nimrod. Okay, let's move on to, let's see, which story is this? Oh, this is interesting too, but then I'll get to the main topic. Remember, I was talking the other day we were talking about Hunter Biden's laptop and how suddenly, the New York Times says, this is real. And other places say this is real after they had, all these people denying it. Well, and I just pulled this story from Breitbart. Nolte, days after the major election, CBS finally verifies Hunter Biden's laptop. Wow, what a coincidence. More than 2 years later and just days after a major national election, far-left CBS has verified that Hunter Biden's laptop, a.k.a. the laptop from hell, is indeed Hunter Biden's laptop. This feels like a troll from a former news outlet that is now so corrupt it trolls its political enemies on the right with open and unbridled glee. Hey, we know there have been 2 national elections since the laptop hit the news, but we're only going to verify it now that Republicans will be in charge of the House of Representatives. If they hadn't won the House, we'd still be lying about it and being able to verify it. How's that for a finger in your racist, sexist, homophobic eyes, you MAGA turds? Here's the report. Let's see. Is this the same report? This might be the same. Yeah, Catherine Heritage. Here's CBS and CBS News themselves. Listen to this tweet. CBS News has obtained data from a laptop purported to have belonged to Hunter Biden. The data came directly from a source who said they provided it to the FBI under subpoena. CBS Catherine Heritage shares what was found during an independent forensic review.
And as Republicans take control of the House, Hunter Biden, the president's son, will be a target for investigations. And that means data from a
it's funny. If that weren't the case, would they even be talking about it? The Russian disinformation laptop.
Top reported to belong to Biden could be crucial to the investigatory process. CBS News has obtained its data.
Oh my goodness!
Not through a third party.
Wait a minute. They've obtained the data. How long ago did they obtain the data? How long ago?
Political operative, but directly from the source who told us they provided it to the FBI under subpoena. And we commissioned an independent forensic review to determine its authenticity.
2 years later. 2 years later, we've commissioned an independent review What the hell took you so long? 2 years later, we've commissioned an independent review. What happened? Why didn't you do that when the New York Post came out with the story? Oh, you were still calling it Russian disinformation. Thank you, Black Hebrew Israelite. Thank you very much.
That's right.
Says another 223, another small bullet in the tip jar. To those people who's lost their jobs in tech, my advice would be to learn to code. Oh, wait, never mind. Maybe they should learn to be an American citizen that cherishes the Bill of Rights.
That's right.
Go woke, go broke. Suck it, Disney.
That's right.
Okay, thank you, Black Hebrew Israelites. Oh, now they've determined that they're going to investigate it. 2 freaking years later.
Senior investigative correspondent Catherine Harris joins us now with what we found. Catherine, I'm very interested.
Robert Banks, what's up?
Good morning, Tony. These House Republican investigations are coming.
Oh, and good point. The FBI had the laptop before the first impeachment, which ironically was all because Trump asked what was going on with the Bidens in Ukraine. Exactly.
And that could be a challenge for the White House as we head into 2023 and 2024. The laptop data we had analyzed showed no evidence it was faked or tampered.
Learn to weld, exactly.
Digital forensic investigator Mark Lanterman was previously a member of a Secret Service electronic crimes task force.
Where were you 2 years ago?
There was one thing that got my attention, and that was a voicemail.
The child porn?
I called to tell you I love you. I love you more than the whole world, pal. Could I get some help?
That voicemail, apparently from Joe Biden during his son Hunter's drug addiction, is one of many findings Lanterman used to authenticate what is believed to be Hunter Biden's laptop data.
You're confident, based on your analysis, this is Hunter Biden's data and that it's real?
No, it's Russian disinformation. Oh, wait, yes? Okay, look, I'm not playing this whole report. It'll be in the links, but just the fact that 2 years later, they've decided to verify this. Huh. Well, gosh, we don't have an election to affect. But let's just give you a rundown memory lane about what people were saying about that laptop 2 years ago when the Washington Post story came out. This is from Matt Orfalia. And I don't know what TK is, but we're going to play it here because, hey, 2 years ago, here's what they said.
Incriminating evidence allegedly found on a laptop belonging to Biden.
This is CBS News.
Some sort of Russian disinformation.
Oh, no, Russian disinformation.
Eternity later. Biden emails finally authenticated according to the New York Times.
It's rewind time.
It's a lie.
Altered or fake, unverified emails.
The story did not quite land due to the lack of verification.
Listen, what can't be verified?
The laptop.
Why do you say that?
Well, because it can't be verified.
I don't even want to report this. This is one of the most powerful families in Washington.
Liz, I'm a journalist.
Okay, I would love if you guys would start doing that verification.
No, we're not going to do your work for you.
It's a journalist's job.
Not anymore.
For all we know, these emails are made up.
Not really stories, just pure distractions. No serious journalist should fall for it.
There he is! Wait, was that Heat Miser? Heat Miser! That was Heat Miser! Look, it's Heat Miser!
It's a journalist's job to find out if this is verified.
The bottom line is we cannot confirm the story.
Experts say the emails cannot be authenticated.
The mainstream media is not reporting on this story because we can't authenticate this material.
The Hunter Biden laptop material is genuine.
This is a classic example of the right-wing media machine.
It just lacks credibility. The fact that it appeared in the New York Post,
the only place low enough to put this orphan bastard story in print.
Obvious disinformation.
It is so obviously a Russision operation.
Russian!
So obviously disinformation.
So obviously a Russian plot. Tell me why it's so obviously a Russian plot to you.
This is just classic textbook
Russian disinformation.
Tradecraft at work.
Right, exactly. And this is classic, very classic.
Classic disinformation campaign.
We shouldn't look at it as anything other than
ever,
Russian disinformation.
Never, ever. Russian disinformation.
Known Kremlin disinformation.
Kremlin disinformation.
Number one guess.
Obviously, Russia.
Russian disinformation operation. disinformation.
Russian
disinformation.
Pushing Russian disinformation.
Russian disinformation.
Hallmarks of Russian disinformation.
Russian
Biden's
disinformation.
story is Russian disinfo.
Russian disinformation.
Looks like it's tied to Vladimir
Yes!
Putin in Moscow.
More, give me more.
Is that laptop yours?
I don't know.
I don't know. It was so high, I didn't know I dropped it
The
off.
serious answer is that I truly do not.
Okay, this goes on for another, like, 2 minutes, and so I'm not doing it. But it's hilarious, and you got to watch it. It'll be in the links. Trust me. It'll be in the links. I will have it for you. And then let's see. Oh, First Amendment. I'll skip that one. We're not doing that today. All right, let's talk about this. Okay, good. I get myself 20 minutes. I'm going to spend the last 20 minutes talking about this awful event in Colorado that is the namesake of the stream today. So, when I use the term tragedy mining, I kind of just made that up because that's not really what it is. But a long time ago, a great political philosopher named Rahm Emanuel said the words that is pretty typical of what's happening with this particular event. And those words were, never let a good tragedy go to waste. Now, what he meant was you can always use a tragedy to push a political agenda. You can use a tragedy to attack your political opponent. You can use a tragedy to attempt to distract or deflect from certain other things that may be happening that are in sync or in congruence with what's happening in this particular tragedy. And this particular one is kind of this is kind of the where all the rivers seem to run together. Okay, so first I'm going to go through a little bit through this front page article because it's an interesting phenomenon. What happened when this thing happened, and we're going to show you a couple clips from people talking about it, where it's really obvious that they really, 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 really want you to shut up about some certain things. So let's start with this article: the misuses of a Colorado atrocity, redefining decency, by Bruce Bauer in Front Page Magazine. When the news broke that an armed man had entered Club Q, an LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado Springs, at about midnight on Saturday, on the eve of something called Transgender Day of Remembrance, and had proceeded to kill 5 people and wound at least 25, one thing seemed all but certain. It was too early to know what had motivated the perpetrator. Anderson Lee Aldrich, who apparently was arrested last year after a, quote, brief standoff with law enforcement, end quote, for making a bomb threat against his mother. Keep that in mind. But it seemed a safe enough prediction that the usual LGBTQ activists and their allies in the media would soon be spinning this atrocity to their advantage. Sure enough, within a few hours, Colorado's largest daily, the Denver Post, had posted an article in which one Elizabeth Hernandez linked the murders to, quote, hateful rhetoric directed towards transgender people and the broader LGBTQ community, end quote. Now, that's fascinating because I don't know, well, we'll get into it, but there's not a whole lot of people complaining about LGB people right now. Oh, but everything beyond those letters is where things go a little off the rails in certain circumstances. We'll get to it. Anyway, the recently re-elected Congressman Lauren Boebert stated Hernandez has been a vocal again. Oh wait, the recently elected Congresswoman Lauren Boebert stated Hernandez, quote, has been vocal against LGBTQ and transgender issues, including in a June tweet saying, quote, take your children to church, not drag bars. And a 2021 speech on the House floor during which she warned of, quote, young girls across America who will have to look behind their backs as they change in their school locker rooms just to make sure there isn't a confused man trying to catch a peek, end quote. Hernandez also noted the controversy surrounding, quote, all ages drag shows at public libraries and other locations, end quote. Now, why isn't that an oxymoron? It should be. And a Colorado librarian who was fired from her job for planning LGBTQ youth programming. Oh, you mean like drag queen story hours or some shit like that? I'm guessing. I assume. Now, what do all these specifics cited by Hernandez have in common? Simple. Not a single one of them is about hatred for transgender people or anybody else. They're all about legitimate questions of public policy, questions about whether small children should be encouraged to attend drag shows and stuff dollar bills into drag artists' panties. You know, because you know those dollar bills they are stuffing into the drag artist panties. It's like teaching them to work at a strip club. It's really weird that parents would actually take their kids to these things. And drag shows, I don't give a shit about drag shows. Drag shows is adult entertainment. Certainly, there's a club in downtown Minneapolis, the Gay 90s, one of the biggest gay clubs in the Midwest. They have drag shows there. They're very entertaining. We've gone there with my wife and some friends, and we're like, oh, this is kind of a cool show. They're doing lip sync and all that shit. They're very talented, but it's not made for children, period. I don't know why you'd want your kids at a drag show. It's definitely adult entertainment, okay? Anyway, so questions about whether teenage boys claiming to be girls should be permitted to use girls' locker rooms and showers, questions about proper age at which children should be taught about various aspects of sex and sexual orientation, and whether they should be introduced at all to gender ideology, a cockamamie new set of propositions that deny biological reality that might well have been designed with the explicit intent of confusing the hell out of small tykes. Those are the policy, the legitimate policy questions that we have. Okay? And then there's the most important question of all. It's about underage boys and girls who've been brainwashed by mentally unstable teachers, by dim bulb school counselors, and by a word that starts with P and has an us at the end, and or money-grubbing doctors into thinking that they want to be butchered for life. See, you're getting kids to make decisions that are going to affect the rest of their life that they have no idea what that means. Should such kids have the power to elect to go under the knife in order to look more like a member of the opposite sex? Should teenage girls be allowed to choose to have their breasts and uteruses mutilated? Should teenage boys be able to have their penises and testicles removed on demand? These are deadly serious questions for the overwhelming majority of rational, compassionate adults. The answers are clear. But for professional LGBTQ activists, the shooting at Club Q was a splendid opportunity. What did I say? Don't let a tragedy go to waste. Rahm Emanuel. To connect such rational, compassionate adults to a mass murder. Quote, you can draw a straight line from the false and vile rhetoric about LGBTQ people spread by extremists and amplified across social media to the nearly 300 anti-LGBTQ bills introduced this year, to the dozens of attacks on our community, like this one, Sarah Kate Ellis, who repeatedly makes around $200,000 a year as a president and CEO of GLAAD, told Hernandez. In fact, the bills being introduced around the country are about nothing more or less than protecting minors from a frighteningly infectious and highly toxic set of ideas that have already ravaged too many young Americans' lives. What Hernandez fails to note is that many of the most outspoken critics of these horrible ideas are themselves gay people who profoundly resent the replacement of the words gay and lesbian by the term LGBT or LGBTQ or LGBTQ plus or LGBTQ plus 2A or LBGTQ plus 2A elemental P, and the takeover of former gay venues and organizations by hardcore propagandists for transgender ideology. On YouTube, a Dutch gay man named Mr. Menno and an American lesbian named Arielle Scarcella regularly stand up to the lie that a man can become a woman and a woman can become a man. American gays who oppose the creepy targeting of kids by transgender ideologues have formed a group called Gays Against Groomers, and their counterparts in the UK have founded the LGB Alliance. I'm only one of a number of gay writers who have repeatedly criticized transgender ideology, but if you want to say that I'm therefore complicit in the mass murder at Club Q. Be my guest. I'm used to it. After the 2011 mass murders in Norway by Anders Behring Breivik, who claimed to be motivated by a hostility to Islam, every prominent critic of Islam, myself included, was accused of being, in effect, a Breivik co-conspirator. So it is now hours after the atrocity at Club Q. Its Facebook page still featured an announcement of the all-ages drag brunch that had been scheduled for Sunday. One of the comments included in the thread below the announcement was Andy Hum, a veteran gay activist and broadcaster. Quote, blood on the hands of Republicans who spent $50 million on ads this election cycle targeting drag queens and transgender people, end quote, Hum wrote. Looking at you, Ron DeSantis and Marco Rubio and Carrie Lake, decent people must speak out against this hate. You know what's funny about this? They haven't said what this guy has called his motivation. We still don't know. And you know what? Here's my theory. If we don't know about his motivation yet, if we haven't seen publicly social media posts and other shit that this guy has written, I got a feeling, this ain't it. Kind of like what happened in, what was that club in Florida? Was it the Pulse nightclub? Remember, they were, oh boy, there's the massacre at Pulse, and boy, it had to be these right-wing Republicans and anti-gay, anti-trans, anti-lesbian, anti-LGBTQ people, and then it turned out to be someone from the religion that shall not be named, who was just mad about some policy in the Middle East, and he chose the Pulse Club at random. But still, that proves that this country is anti-LGBTQ. It's right-wingers' fault. Yeah, right. Anyway, Hum, who is pushing 70, has been a prominent figure in the gay media and in the queer left activism for decades. Not until the latter part of his career were transsexuals, newly rebranded as transgender persons, merged into the gay rights movement and gay and lesbian community under the new LGBT label, which soon enough became LGBTQ, LGBTQI, and so on and so forth. No gay person that I know voted for this change. I never heard debated or discussed, but professional gays like Hum, whose modest career as a gay broadcaster was threatened by the rapid mainstreaming of gay people in America, which, for example, all but eliminated the gay bookstore, went along with it. This meant buying into or pretending to buy into dogmas which virtually nobody would have assented a generation ago. It meant pretending not to recognize that the ballooning numbers of young people claiming to be transgender was reflective of a social media-driven trend. And worst of all, it meant pretending that the surgical destruction of confused young people's private parts should be celebrated as gender affirmative. One of the most appalling betrayals of our time is the readiness with which veteran activists like Andy Hum, who represented themselves for decades as champions of gay rights, sold out gays and lesbians in a trice in exchange for careers in a newly overhauled movement whose goal was not equal rights, but the undermining of biological truth itself, no matter how many innocent lives might be destroyed in the process. Decent people? How dare anyone who supports such sheer evil speak of decency? And that's someone named Bruce Bauer, who's a Shillman Fellow at the David Horowitz Freedom Center, a gay man who wrote that. That was... Now, as we look at some of the things going on here, now, speaking of which, this is interesting because I know I took that off the screen. I'll put this back on here. Air Force cadets from homophobic or transphobic families or areas were told to be supportive after the shooting. That's interesting. An Air Force cadet in charge of diversity and inclusion sent out an all-hands email reminding cadets from, quote, homophobic and transphobic families or areas. Oh, there's homophobic, transphobic areas? I didn't know that. I didn't know that we were segregated into special areas that were some, if you live in this street, you are in the homophobic area. If you live on this street, you're in the transphobic area. If you're on this cross street, you cross the transphobic and homophobic area. But if you live on that street, then you're fine. They were told that they were expected to provide support in the wake of the Club Q shooting. A Sunday email obtained by the Daily Caller explained that, quote, for those who may be from homophobic, transphobic families or areas, LGBTQ plus friendly places like Club Q provide a welcoming environment that doesn't exist everywhere. This direct attack on a LGBTQ plus club indicates how prominent the risk is to being LGBTQ plus, and I hope that you are more than willing to provide support and check in with those around you, regardless if they are part of the LGBTQ plus community or not. The atmosphere created within the United States U.S. Air Force Academy The atmosphere created within the U.S. Air Force Academy is a crucial aspect of feeling included as a LGBTQ plus cadet, especially during this time. Now, I'm curious. What if you're, let's say you're in the Air Force Academy, you happen to be LGBTQ plus, whatever. First of all, why is it important for that to even be thought of? You're not here to be LGBTQ plus. You're here to be a Air Force officer or whatever, right? It should be irrelevant. But anyway, the Daily Caller reached out to the cadet who sent the email. She did not respond to the request for comment. A spokesman for the Air Force Academy first told Daily Caller he was unaware of such email was even sent to the student body. Following the Daily Caller's inquiry to the cadet in question, the spokesperson followed up by sending an official internal statement on the Club Q shooting from the school superintendent and requested that all requests for comments to cadets run through his office. The Daily Caller sent a series of detailed questions to the spokesperson about specifying which families and areas the email referred to and whether the Air Force thought such language ran the risk of alienating other cadets, but he would not comment on the matter further. A concerned cadet parent told the Daily Caller, quote, while the Club Q shooting was a horrible, unnecessary attack on people who do not deserve it, it is not a right to attack U.S. Air Force Academy cadets' families, calling them homophobic and transphobic without any proof, especially since they had absolutely nothing to do with the shootings. Right. Representing the entire United States Air Force Academy leadership, this cadet insinuates that uninvolved cadets, their supportive families, beloved hometowns, and safe places of worship have contributed to this insane violence. Such accusations are unacceptable and inexcusable. Well, guess what? You can read the rest of that. Guess what? That's par for the course. Let's look at the NBC News prolific writer on LGBTQIA plus LMNOP issues, Ben Collins, Ben Collins and Brandy Zarazny, this person blamed libs of TikTok and Tucker Carlson. Here's this person. I'm going to be nice.
Brandy, explain that when you hear that, your reaction to it, and then kind of walk us through how rhetoric online, rhetoric from politicians.
Now, granted, let me remind you, this report came out before they have any idea what the motive of the person who went and did this attack was. Kind of like the Pulse, they were just saying how this is anti-LGBTQ plus and it's a right wing, this and that, blah, 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 blah. You notice this happened. This happened Saturday night. What's today? Tuesday. Have you heard anything about this guy since? You know damn well if he'd been writing, I hate gay people and LGBTQ plus 2IA 1 LMNOP 50210s, it would be all over the media. all his social media posts where he copied and pasted in every Daily Beast and Vox and NBC and MSNBC and ABC and CBS. And this is CNN. It'd be everywhere. But it's not. I wonder why. Okay, let's listen to this hoe.
Can ultimately trickle down into real life and seeing examples of what happened over the weekend.
Stochastic terrorism.
Yeah, the response is heartbreaking.
Oh my God! I didn't watch this before. I just heard it before, and I didn't really ever look at the screen. Okay. Is it just me? Or is this exactly what you'd expect her to look like? She got the glasses. Now her hair is a little long, but it's a little straight. Oh my God. Anyway, and look at the smile on her face. She is joyful speaking about this. Look at she's cheesing, man. It's Garth. Wait a minute. Okay, wait. Okay, let's hear what she says here. She is so happy to say this too, because it's right-wing terrorism. Take it away, Garth.
Of what happened over the weekend. Yeah, the response is heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking. I mean, look at the smile on her face when she says heartbreaking. Oh my God. Look at this. Here you go. Here, wait. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. She's fucking giddy about it. It's heartbreaking. Good God, woman.
Marginalized, vulnerable people who are disproportionately the victims of these sort of hate crimes who are...
False. Okay, wait. She said hate crimes. Really? I don't think so. Because you know why they're disproportionately victims of these so-called hate crimes? Because you don't call it a hate crime unless it's a crime against them. Hi, Rockhopper. You are very selective on what you call a hate crime. So we'll never know if they're disproportionately victims of these hate crimes, because a lot of times they're just crimes. You know, like how 31 transgender women were women were killed last year, and 18 were black. So it disproportionately affects black transgender women. 31 out of 14,891 murders last year. You're saying 31 is a disproportionate number? Really? And vast majority of those were not necessarily hate crimes, because a lot of times they were domestic violence within their own household or just randomly killed. But oh my God, they were transgender. We're going to write this down as one of those disproportionate hate crimes. 31? That's any given Tuesday night in America. But 31 the whole year. It's up. It's up 40% because there were 22 last year. Well, the hate crimes against LGBTQ people are up 42% from 24 to 30, or transgender, whatever. Transgender. That increase is because there's any increase is going to be disproportionate compared to 14,000 murders last year of everybody else. I don't know if it's 40, somewhere between 8 and 14,000. 14,000 was 2002. There was 14,000. Someone was going back and they were talking about how many people have been killed in mass shootings from 2000 to 2002 for the last 20 years, 2002 to 2022, and the total was like 300 some people, okay, over 20 years, okay. And then they're saying, oh, well, these are all, how many were done with AR-15s? Well, oh my goodness. You know, more people are killed with fists than rifles in this country. Just someone throwing hands and feet. More people are killed by hands and feet than rifles, murder-wise. Good God. Anyway, what's she saying?
Just simply saying, please stop.
Please stop what?
Making money and gaining political power on our backs and on violence against us.
Really, who's making money off the violence against you? Nobody. It's unbelievable. Oh, my God.
Answer from everybody is no, we won't stop that because it's too politically expedient or it makes us too much money and we don't want to.
See, this. You know what this is? Okay. This is a way to tell people to shut up about exposing some of the more bullshit side of what you do. Okay? I don't give a shit if people go to gay clubs and go see drag shows, but I kind of draw the line when they start telling kids that they're probably some other sex and start giving them permanent damaging treatments, drugs, surgeries, that they have no idea what the scope of the rest of their life is compared to their 12, 13, 14 years they've been on this earth. Not realizing that you realize that if you start this now, you have a very short window to stop it. And if you don't, you are going to be on this drug or have this surgery, this extra hole in your body or missing body part or something that you have to dilate every few days for the rest of your life. Do you know how long the rest of your life is? For some people, it's 70, 80 more years. Or the fact that this is not going to stop you from having ideas of removing yourself because you're not getting the proper psychological care. So the ideation of suicides doesn't change just because you made this choice when you were too young to understand the rest of your life.
I don't know how. I've been following this since about March and April. We follow, online hate trends, I guess. And since April and March. Really.
And again, they have no idea what the motivation in this this event was yet. And it may well be. It might have been LGBTQ hate for all I know. I don't know. But certainly, since we haven't heard by now, it's kind of like Paul Pelosi getting hit by a hammer. You just got to wait for the details to come out, and eventually it will. But right now, we don't know, and neither does she, but she seems to think she knows with no evidence. Well, she's saying this without evidence. Who does that sound like? Oh, you're just like Donald Trump, except he usually has more evidence than you do.
Really, the LGBT community has been the main focus of this hatred. It starts.
No. One, not hatred. Two, not the LGB. Not the LGB. Again, like that last article. Oh, we didn't vote on having the T part. Hell, that's not a sexuality. That's some other shit that doesn't even relate to us. But hell, I guess they're on our side now. And I don't even care about the T part if they're adults. But stop pushing on kids. Let them either grow out of it or make the decision when they have at least a brain that's developed and maybe possibly sort of kind of can understand what the rest of your life means. God, give me a break.
There is a pipeline. It starts from some smaller accounts online, like Libs of TikTok. It moves to the right-wing blogosphere, and then it ends up on Tucker Carlson, or it ends up out of a right-wing politician's mouth. And it's a really dangerous cycle that does have real-world consequences.
Really? Tell me what it is. You mean maybe some people will see that this is wrong and will stop that part with kids and has nothing to do with the shooting. And if it does, I'll eat my words, but guess what? Haven't heard much yet, have we? Haven't heard much. I'm sure we'd know by now. Boy, oh boy, if they found some social media posts of this guy's talking about gay people. Of course, this is the guy who threatened to kill his own mom. I don't know. Was his mom a lesbian? Who knows? Who knows? I just don't know if she was. I was going to say something really rude, and I changed my mind. All right, let's finish up because I'm already late. Now, and then we have Ben Collins. Yes, see, Ben Collins pretty much does nothing but talk about, his whole beat at CBS is LGBTQ plus stuff. And so let's start with this one. This performance by Collins. Ask yourself if he cares more about the victims of this tragedy or being celebrated among his progressive friends. Such exploitative, soulless narcissism. Here we go. Oh, yeah.
I do want to say, though.
Listen to this. He touts his own articles.
Am I doing something wrong here? Here are some headlines that
I'm
I wrote
a good person.
the last 6 months.
Right. This is I don't know if this is self-awareness or not, but listen to all these articles he's written. This is his beat, and this is what he writes. And maybe he's not self-aware. Maybe he just wants to point fingers at people and sound good to his liberal friends. But here it is. I don't even know if he's gay or not. He might be. It doesn't really matter, but it's curious as much as he writes about this.
That's far-right machine. Anti-LGBTQ threats shut down trans rights and drag events. Remember?
Okay.
There's a drag event happening in Colorado. Anti-trans stalkers at Kiwi Farms, which is a anti-trans website. That
no, it's not.
People.
No, Kiwi Farms is not an anti-trans website. Kiwi Farms is a message board that has some people on there that probably are anti-trans. But the Kiwi Farms is like a freaking whatever. It's a message board with all kinds of topics. There just happens to be some areas. Basically, they funnel locales like Keffels and shit. But anyway, look at all these headlines. These are all Ben Collins headlines. Oh wait, thank you, Chicago Mike, for sponsoring the show. And Chicago Mike, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. With the big bullet says, does Brandy Karen still believe that Jussie Smollett was a hate crime? I'm sure she does. Thank you, Chicago Mike. Yeah. All right, here, these are all Ben Collins headlines, and these are from between May, August, October. He does nothing. He writes about this constantly.
Facing one victim around the world, their list of targets is growing. That was a couple months ago. Doctors under threat from far-right activists for providing trans care.
See, now notice how he did that. Where's that? Doctors providing trans care under increasing threat from far-right harassment campaigns. Trans care? Is it just trans care? Or do people protest the idea that you're possibly, you're experimenting on children, basically, because you know that there's no approved FHA drugs that address this. There's no FHA approved or whatever. The surgeries are all experimental. They still don't know long-term effects. But now how about trans care for adults? Does you hear anyone complaining about adults having trans care? Interesting. He leaves out the children part on this.
Possible faces bomb threat after right-wing harassment campaign. There were 3 of those bomb threats.
And you know what? I think they did finally arrest a woman for those, but I don't know what. Notice you don't hear about it. Someone was arrested for those. You know that? But notice we didn't hear about it. When you don't hear about it, yeah, you can connect some dots. Someone mentioned Jussie Smollett a few minutes ago. Did you know? I just noticed that.
FBI charges Massachusetts woman with Boston Children's Hospital bomb threats. So they found one of the people.
Yeah, why aren't we hearing about that though? Ben, I haven't heard a whole lot about that, Ben.
At least 20 Republican politicians have claimed that schools are making accommodations for students who identify as cats. You
know, it's funny. The only thing they got wrong about that was the litter box part. Do you know that there are kids who are it's not it's true. Now, the litter box part was wrong. They didn't have some kid take a dump in a litter box in the corner of the classroom, but still. That's funny.
That was before the midterms. Here are 3 more from my colleagues in the last 3 weeks. As election nears, some conservative groups have ramped up anti-trans campaign ads. Far-right figures appear to be testing Twitter's...
It's funny how they always go anti-trans. They leave out the children part when they put these, when they write these headlines.
Boundaries for anti-LGBTQ speech. GOP senator targets TikTok influencer with anti-transgender taunts. And I'm just wondering.
I'm wondering too.
What could I have done different? Seriously, as reporters, what can we do different? Because there are 5 dead people in a strip mall because that was the only place they felt safe as gay or trans people in this town in Colorado Springs.
Wait for it.
And I am trying to thread this needle here. I'm trying to say that this is happening.
Really? But why is it happening, Ben? Why did that happen? Are you saying it's happened because of those things? You don't know, do you, Ben?
This targeted stuff has real-life impacts. They say on the internet has real-life impacts. And I'm going to fail, by the way. You're going to fail because... freak out because it's happening. Because I wake up and I see that there are 5 dead bodies.
And you're blaming it on...
But I think we have to have a come-to-Jesus moment here. As reporters, are we more afraid of being on Breitbart for saying that trans people deserve to be alive?
Wow, is anyone saying they should be dead? I'm not. That's a weird thing to say, Ben, when you don't know why this happened. You could go find out before you say shit like this, Ben. Because really, are you yourself participating in stochastic terrorism by doing this? Are you saying that these people, the people that say the things that they say, are they allowed to say that? I'm just curious.
Or are we more afraid of the dead people? Because I'm more afraid of the dead people. I don't want to wake up on a Sunday and see that all of these headlines came to fruition.
What do we do about public officials at local level?
You don't know, Ben. You're talking through your ass. You're making an assumption. You know what? You said the same thing after the Pulse nightclub shooting, I bet. I bet you said the exact same thing until you found out the guy's name was Omar Mateen, and then you shut the fuck up completely. You shut down. Stop talking about it, kind of like the rest of the media did. He continues in another one.
It becomes a place where kids aren't safe, not because of the event itself.
Oh, he's talking about
that's been propped up.
He's talking about the drag queen shows for kids.
On top of it. And that's not something that should happen.
Why are they dangerous?
These people should be able to live their lives without fear of being murdered, literally. But right now, that's the sort of climate that's been created by anti-LGBTQ.
Is it? Or did they just... I have a clip of a drag show that I can't even show on YouTube. It almost made me throw up. That they're dragging this little girl the drag queen. And I don't give a fuck about drag queens if it's an adult show and it's adult entertainment, adults are watching. But a little girl, like 2 or 3 years old, maybe 3 years old, carrying dollar bills, the drag queen, dressed in a thong and big giant fake hooters with just tape over the fake nipples, dragging the little girl up and down the runway with her in a princess outfit. And you're like, dude, seriously? This is entertainment for a 3-year-old? Is this the image you want a 3-year-old to do? Do you want the 3-year-old to walk around acting like a stripper? Because basically it was a stripper routine. I don't understand. You can watch the rest of this one yourself. This guy's, the idea that, these are just innocuous shows. Or in fact, look, here's, not some kind of hypersexual event. That's what he's going to say in this. Oh, really? It's not some kind of hypersexual event. This is a drag queen show for kids. Yes. Huh? Drag queen show for kids. Yes. Drag queen story hour. Now they've blurred out the fact that this guy's penis is, he's not wearing underwear. And his penis is hanging out for the drag queen story hour for kids. The fake boob one. Remember this one? And this person at least had the integrity to go, holy shit, I did not know that little kid was there. I would have never done this show for little kids. Or for at least, whatever. No, it's just, this is just wholesome entertainment for children. This is not confusing little kids and teaching them how to be, strippers, basically. Anyway, And then David Hogg, if you watched Randy Monkey, you saw this. David Hogg learned a new word this week. Hey, journalists, what Republicans are engaged in has a name. It's called stochastic terrorism. Oh my God, David Hogg learned a new word. Somebody call the newspapers, because David Hogg, I have a name for this. There's a term for this that I call it. He's David Hogg is, he took it out. The tweet is unavailable. He took it down. Maybe too many people made fun of him. Good. He's an idiot. I'll be damned. Little fucker took it down. Good. He's an idiot. But he writes that, and I'm like, he's a pop journalism icon. He's a and that's a new phrase that I have coined for people who gain their authority because journalists have decided that this person's moral authority makes them newsworthy no matter what they say. And so David Hogg is one of those people. David Hogg, Greta Thunberg, or not necessarily newsworthy, but because of the agenda of the dominant media in this country, they will prop certain people up to fit their agenda. And these are the people who I call pop journalism icons. So David Hogg, Greta Thunberg, AOC, Eric Swalwell. Now, again, and Eric Swalwell and AOC are in Congress, but still, their persona has been propped up by the media's agenda. Even Marjorie Taylor Greene would fit that category because the media's agenda with her props her up because they think she's an awful person, and that still fits their agenda. So, again, pop journalism icons, David Hogg has learned a new word. Oh God, we're going to hear this. But you know what? Here's the thing. When someone like David Hogg says that word, because a lot of people have been using that phrase, which is a bullshit phrase anyway, but when David Hogg says it, media notices, and now you're going to get all these, what is stochastic terrorism? There'll be probably a report on CBS News coming up, and it'll be, or NBC, and it'll be Ben Collins. What is stochastic terrorism? Well, this is, this event in Colorado is a example of the dangers of stochastic terrorism. And it's just a way to get people to shut up. That's all it is. They want you to shut up about controversial issues that they disagree with you on. And so when they make up a stupid idea called stochastic terrorism, a stupid term, which actually came out about 2011 on the Daily Kos when during the Gabby Gifford shooting, they were claiming that Sarah Palin was guilty of stochastic terrorism because she made a target map of different congressional districts they wanted to win. And then they tried to blame Gabby Gifford shooting on Sarah Palin. Then they realized the guy who did the shooting had nothing to do with anything that Republican whatsoever. But that didn't matter because Sarah Palin made that map. Stochastic terrorism. Marcus Mousolitis or whatever came up with that shit. Anyway, all right, gang. I got to go. The only other articles I had that I didn't get to, one was this one from Daily Caller. Did you know that this person, whatever that is, Dr. Rachel Levine, apparently she had been a long time ago, before she became the Assistant Secretary of Health, she was promoting child sex change surgeries a long time ago. And then there's another article here from Deborah So, the childhood transition narrative is crumbling. Yeah, we're starting to understand a lot more about it, and there's other countries who've done a lot more research than us, and so people are starting to figure out that maybe we've just jumped into this a little too hard and fast. And maybe we should just start slowing things down and figuring out, we don't have much research on this. Maybe we should do some research. Maybe we should learn what these drugs do to kids before we use them, and so on and so forth. Yes, Okay. All right, guys, I got to go. I want to thank you for joining me today here on the Morning Night Live. Do me a favor, hit the like button right now. Whoops, whoa, what the hell was that? Stop. And thanks for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. premature ejection of the show. Anyway, thank you for joining me on the P-Dawg Knight Channel and the Morning Night Live. Hit the like button, share the stream, sponsor the show if you'd like to. Thank you, Chicago Mike and Black Hebrew Israelite, for sponsoring the show today. And Gunfox for yesterday. I don't know if you're here when I said that yesterday, so I'm saying it now. And follow me on Locals if you want notifications for everything I do. You don't have to. You can support me on Locals too. That would be great, because then there'll be some stuff I'm posting there that you can see and comment on. That you can if you don't become a member. But even if you don't, you can just follow me there, and you will get notifications for all my videos, afternoon shows, shit like that, new videos. In fact, I'll even be posting some of the videos I'm putting on my other channels over there too. So follow me on Locals. That link's in the chat. All the stuff that I did today will be in the description down below at the end of the show. Actually, it'll be this afternoon, because I actually got to run as soon as I click go on or end on this. But thank you. Gotta go. My name's P-Dawg Knight, and I am out of here. Bye. Hey, this is P-Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.